Good day, everybody. This is Greg, and with me today I have Graham Power. Welcome to our Amplify sessions. And the purpose of these sessions is just to encourage you, to inspire you with life stories from real people. And today we're just gonna spend a few moments hearing a bit more about who is Graham Power, and he's going to share a bit of his life story with us. And yeah, enjoy. Over to you, Mr. Power.
Hi, Greg, and our friends out there from the tribe community. My story started in 1955. That makes me 65 years old today, and I started off with living in the northern suburbs. My father, coming out of the Second World War, was a motor mechanic, and my mother, in order to provide for us 5 children, went to work each day on a thick-wheel bicycle, riding in winter, in the rain, etc. She probably traveled 8 kilometers either way. And each of us had 1 pair of shoes, and I remember the joy of getting my first ever bicycle, which had many coats of paint on, as it had been handed down in the family. So I guess because we did not have much, there was never a shortage of meals, so we always had food on the table, but because we did not have much, I think I had this burning desire to want to climb the ladder. So there was never going to be money to study further. I finished my matric, my grade 12. I did a 1-year compulsory military training. Then I started working for a construction company at that time called Savage and Lovemore. Today they more commonly known as Group 5 Roads. And I started off as a trainee surveyor. Then from survey went on to quantity surveying, from quantity surveying to project management, and had the privilege of gaining good experience in a relatively short time. I worked hard, even though I was playing my rugby on weekends and so forth. I ended up putting in many hours, and so I would generally leave home in the morning at 5:30, jump on the back of a bakkie, LDV, travel to work, which was about a 70-kilometer travel, and then that evening back at about 6:30, try and get to my practice at 7 o'clock the evening, and the next morning that same cycle would repeat. So it was tough, it was hard work, it was humbling to sit on the back of a vehicle and to have to travel to work each day. But I want to say to you, it probably was the best foundation that I could have wished for. So as number 4 out of a family of 5 children, second youngest, there was a lot of I won't say competition, but we had a very close family bond, and we would inspire one another and so forth. My father was also a musician, and so there was a lot of music in the house. And I think my dad and mother both taught us the value of hard work. If you want to get somewhere in life, you must be prepared to climb in and work hard. So I started my career, and progressively got to a point where I had 9.5 years experience with this company, and then decided with some jolting and pressure from my wife and my father-in-law to start my own business. And when you're working with big yellow machines in the construction industry, it's quite tough to get started if you don't have reasonable capital to own your own equipment and so forth. So we started off doing things like parking areas, driveways, subcontracting for bigger contractors and so forth. And thankfully we were able to grow. First year, I remember us having a turnover of 300,000 Rand. Second year, 3 million. Next year, 6 million. 12 million, 24. So over those first 4 or 5 years, we were able to double our turnover each year. Today we employ about 1,600 people, and we operate across South Africa, also into some of the neighboring countries. And so we would do earth moving, roadworks, what I guess the Americans would call highway construction. We would build dams, bridges, structures, and we do a lot of housing for the affordable market, people that are living in shacks that have never owned a home before. We've done about 55,000 houses in the last 15 years, and these are, I must say, this is the one area where I get great joy in seeing people that have never owned a home before getting their first key, and an elderly lady, maybe 85 years old, entering that home, and just the smile, the tears of joy of having lived in a backyard of somebody in a shack and all of a sudden having their own home. So that gives one great joy. So it's been an interesting ride. There's been lots of ups and downs, starting in the era of apartheid. 1983 was when I started the business, 37 and a half years ago. And as we started out, there were burning tires, and we would have to go through early morning, 6 o'clock, getting into these areas, work there. In the afternoon, when the youth that have been burning these tires, we would come out again at 6:30 or 7 at night. So it had its challenges, but thankfully we were able to grow through all of that, and of course we're very happy to see when things opened up and we had our first democratic election. It was peaceful, and just the rainbow nation of South Africa. And I believe that rainbow has not disappeared. Yeah. It's still very much alive and well. And yes, even now recently with what's happened in the US with the racial divides, etc., we live in a special country. And I may be white, but I'm an African, and I'm proud to be an African.
Oh, awesome. Thank you so much for sharing a bit of your life story. We've got so many people out there who might be going through, a rough time, who might have it rough at home and growing up, and they've got dreams for their own lives, and they might be on the verge of giving up. Is there any words of encouragement that you can give to such people who might say, my life is too hard, I can't do this?
We all go through phases of hardship. Every single one of us. No matter how successful you are, you will know of those lonely moments. Sometimes you don't verbalize it, sometimes you don't share it. It is tough out there. Regardless of where you stand spiritually, you will go through tough times. And to me, that spiritual foundation just helps you to ease through that. But there will be ups, there will be downs. I remember one of my mentors, an elderly gentleman by the name of Noel Shackleton, no longer alive. He once said to me, it was in the late 70s, and I went through in my construction career the first serious depression, period of lack of work and unemployment. And he said to me, Graham, remember, there's never been a drought that has not been broken. For every up, there's a down. For every down, there's an up. So in those down times, prepare, tighten your belt, keep your overheads in check, but prepare, because the next upturn will come. There's never been a drought that has not been broken, and that is something I've held on to. You may go through this, there are 4 seasons. We could be in a winter season in our life, but lo and behold, with time, the spring will come, summer will come, and those trees that look all buckled and bent in winter, all of a sudden there's a flower, all of a sudden there's a fruit, and it's the same tree, different season. And all of us must just be at peace knowing that we will go through these ups and downs, and we need to watch out that we don't become so despondent, depressive, because it's so easy. If we watch the news and we see everything going around at the moment, you think of the COVID challenge that we've had, shut down your business for 2 months, cash flows impacted. It's tough. People have uncertainty about, are they going to have a job? Are there going to be retrenchments, etc.? So, and we don't have an answer to all of that, but we've got to persevere. And lo and behold, with time, there will be a positive outcome, as long as you and I just remain constructive, positive. And our words, we can talk ourselves into a depression. I can watch the news and I can get so depressed, etc. Sometimes one just has to shut it out for a while. Not that you put your head in the sand, and try and make as if it's not happening, but just to step back a little bit and to just say, hold on, I'm going to just shut off and not watch television, the news 2 or 3 times a day, because it's just going to be so, can get you despondent.
Yeah, thank you so much for those words of encouragement. And I truly believe that the key word there is through. You know, we are going through difficult times. We are not there to stay. And we should just persevere. Well, thank you so much, Mr. Power, for spending this time with us. And it's my hope and desire that everybody watching and listening will find encouragement and will find inspiration through these sessions, and that they will remember and they will know that there is hope for the future. And we're looking forward to the next couple of sessions we're going to have with you on business and on your personal life and just your holistic well-being. We're looking forward to those sessions, and we're hoping that everybody will join us as we move forward with our Amplify sessions, where you will hear the sound of encouragement, inspiration, and hope. Take care.